Hi guys, so today we're going to look at looking at rulers. So I know rulers is more than drawing a straight line, and I know it's more than hitting your sibling with it. If you thought about it, don't do it. If you've done it, don't do it again. Okay? Alright, well, rulers can also be used for the measurement of length. We measure things all throughout life when we're making stuff, especially if we're building something. Sometimes we need to measure it to be a certain length. So let's look at this ruler. What happened here is I grabbed from 0 to 1 inch and I showed you what it looks like. So what those little lines look like and what each fractional part is. I know this looks confusing, so let's go into a more simple version. All right, so look at this version. It is fractional units of length from 0 to 1. So we have 1/4 here, 3/4 here, a half, and also 1/2 is also equal to 2/4 through equivalence. And then we have 1/2. So what happened was I zoomed it up. So look how I zoomed 0 to 1 over here. All right. So how about let's figure out how to measure things. So before I told you that a paper clip is 1 inch. So let's prove it because we need to know. Well, what we need to know is, you see how the beginning of the paper clip starts right here? Well, I need that paper clip beginning to start at 0. So I have to move my paper clip. All right. So I am about right there. Okay. So that's at 0, starting at 0. Our ruler should always start at just 0 when we're measuring something. And then we look at where it ends. So Miss Huss did it right. It should end at 1 inch. Remember 1 inch? Do you remember the shorter version of an inch? 1 IN. Okay? All right, so this paper clip is 1 inch. We made sure that the beginning of the paper clip starts at 0 and the end of the paper clip, and we look where that it ends at. Okay? So let's try a push pin. Right now, is my push pin lined up like it should be? I would agree if you said no. So I'm lining it up to 0 as best as I can. And then I'm going to see, am I at 0? Yes, I am. Okay? And let's look where it's ending at. Oh, it's ending at 1/4. 1/4 of a, what measurement are we using? Inch. And remember, it can be 1/4 inch in shorthand. Okay? You know what this is kind of reminding me of? I'm going to draw a picture and see if you can figure it out. What does that look like to you? It looks like a number line to me. You see 1/4, 1/2, 2/4, 3/4, and then 1/2. That looks just like a number line. So a ruler kind of is like a number line, but I would say it is way more exact for it being correct. All right, so we have this button here. Tell somebody as you're watching this, where should the button begin at? If you said the button should begin at 0, you are correct. Okay, so we look at the front. We see the button is at 0. Okay, and where does the button end at? Write it down on your paper. 3/4 of a what? What measurement are we doing? We're using inches. So it's 3/4 of an inch. That button is pretty big. Cool. And again, this is making me think about a number line. So we've done 0 through 1, but what if our object is bigger than 1? What does that look like? So what if what should I start at? Oh yeah, 0. Y'all are right. Ooh, that's messy. Sorry. Start at 1, or start at 0. And I'm going to stop right here. All right. How long is my line? Well, I see it's at 2/4, but is that just correct by saying it's just at 2/4? No, it's not, because there's also 2/4 here and here. Well, what else I know is it's between 1 and 2. Is it at 2 yet? No. Has it passed 1? Yes. So if it's between 1 and 2, would it be better to say 1 inch and 2/4 or 2 and 2/4? Well, I would say 1 and 2/4. So this is how it would be written: 1 and 2/4 of an inch. Okay. Let's see. Let's try another one. I'm going to erase this and see if I can do another one. All right. Remember where we start at? We start at 0. And then I'm going, I stop right there. Okay? So you try it, write it down, tell somebody around you, what do you think this length is at? All right, let's see if you're right. So you should have written down 3/4 first, because you knew it stopped at 3/4. We have to decide what is the whole number we would write. Well, I know it's between 1 and 2. It has not passed 2 yet, so I can't put 2 down here. It's still in the ones, so it's 1 and 3/4. If it was to pass 2, it would look like this. Take a guess. What number do you think that is? It's not labeled, so you're going to have to think about it. I see it's past 2, so I know the whole number is 2. And then I see these middle of the lines: 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 1 whole. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 2. So what do you think would go here? 1/4, right? 2/4 of an inch, because that's what we're using. It even labels it in our ruler. Okay, so I want you to look at the anchor chart this week. I want you to practice the game that I have on there for you to also have another way to solve this, okay?